This is Jamie Drummond for Good Food Revolution. I'm sitting here with Executive Chef Brad Long from Belong at the Brickworks in Toronto. How are you today, Brad?
Not too bad. How are you doing?
Very good, thank you. Well, I'd like to ask you, Brad, when are you going to be opening your new restaurant at the Brickworks?
Well, if you know anything about construction, you actually have to have a degree in wizardry to know exactly when it will end. But it'll be sometime in March. We'll be in there making a mess, and I'll be soft open some point in March and officially open in April. But there'll be no hard day where it's like close one day, open the next. It's just gonna suddenly be there.
Very organic.
Okay, you can use that term.
Now, what's the underlying philosophy behind the establishment?
Well, I guess I've followed the rule of threes in a way, because it's about local, organic, and sustainable, and demonstrating that those things are, separate, different, important, viable, all those things. It's a conversation about those topics, right? For me, it's not about being that, it's about understanding what they are and trying to integrate it in your daily purchasing of food, in ingesting food and all those things. But the other three is the thing that I really tend to, I guess put food into those categories, which is, fuel, medicine, and love. Meaning, most people just cram food in their face for fuel. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people who give sort of some awareness to the idea of love, meaning breaking bread together. Slow food is a lot about food's love, and not just that, but there's certain aspects of life that are just better shared with, and food is definitely one of those things. The third one, being medicine, is the one that's sort of left aside for the most part in, I guess, call it North American culture. Mostly because it's young and stupid. And we don't realize that what you eat, when you eat it, and what balance actually affects your ability to concentrate, your ability to perform, and your ability to be healthy and live longer. And again, just going back to the local organic sustainable, doesn't mean you have to follow one of those religiously. It means you have to be aware and ask questions and work in balance.
Now, is it going to be quite a sizable establishment that you have up there?
Well, Evergreen Brickworks is a sizable establishment.
Yes.
And I guess I'm kind of smeared all over the site in some way. I like that word, smeared. But no, it's a tiny cafe. But the kitchen is disproportionate to the size of the dining room and the cafe, because we're catering on site. There will be events that are 1,000, 2,000 people, weddings, corporates, celebration. Plus, we do everything from scratch. We'll have a full butcher shop, pastry, bakery. So when you think about it, I need a lot of space for all that equipment. So what was left over for the dining room was very small. So the dining room is somewhere between 60 and 80 seats. We'll find out when it's done. People keep saying, well, that's not very big. But the busy time there is in the summer. And if I have 60 seats inside, who cares? Because there's 2,000 seats outside. You walk around, this beautiful park, wetlands, all those pavilions, the entertainment, the programming, the educational aspects, the children's aspects. So there's always something to do. And I'm just there to facilitate food, fuel, medicine, love, sorry. I'm just there to make sure that you can either be entertained or at least fueled up and ready to go.
And you said you're looking at March for an opening. Are you going to be open 7 days a week? Or are you going to be open 5 days a week? Are you going to be open for lunch and for dinner?
We're breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week.
Fantastic.
So weekends will be brunch, and the idea is that it starts first thing in the morning. You grab a coffee, grab something really quickly, because there's a lot of people who work on site. There's a lot of people who are traveling past. So, at that point, it literally is a cafe. It might even be a truck stop in that sort of sense. By the time you hit the lunch time, you can sit down and have lunch, or you can grab something and go. Hit the later afternoon, you can combine, pick up a meal to take home. because we, since you're
There
doing
will be a
nose-
retail.
small retail, because we'll have a lot of offshoots of the nose to tail. You break a whole animal, you have steaks, but also ground and a lot of other things to do.
Mm-hmm.
By dinner time, the sun sets and it becomes a really pretty little spot. So it's dining at that point. So it goes from like something like a chip truck to dining all in one space across 12 hours.
Now, if people were eager to find out about the development and the opening and the like, and to see the menus, where would they be looking in the future?
Well, we're trying to update the websites. There's a cafebelong.ca and a belongcatering.ca website.
And how does one spell that?
Well, Belong. Belong is my name, but the word belong
I see.
was appropriate because everything I do there and everything that happens at the Evergreen Brickworks site needs to belong there. There needs to be some sort of understanding that it's about local, it's about organics, it's about sustainable, about the environment, about education, and that you can't just sort of leave one of those off and go, it has to belong, it has to make sense. So I crammed my big-headed name into something that's programmatic and we come up with that.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us today, Brad. And we look forward to trying out Belong when it comes to fruition.
Appreciate that. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.